Hey guys, welcome back to channel Mary C. I'm just gonna get right into it, and this video is about what to release and what to open our hearts up to receive as we move forward into 2020. So what to release is the devil, and the devil represents our bad habits, and our bad habits are activities that we tend to go to escape reality when we start to feel like off kilter or like don't really like the reality of our present moment. Like, what do we go to escape our emotions from? Like, what do we do like when we don't like our emotions, and like to bring us into an unconscious state where we don't have to feel our emotions. So like, it's important to like look in the mirror and be like, all right, like every single time I start to get sad, I smoke weed so that I don't think about it. Like, that's a bad habit. Like, it's really important moving into 2020 that like we are progressive energetically. So when we are feeling like sad or anything that's not like abundant feeling, like instead of escaping from it, it's important to like acknowledge it and then switch the perspective of our consciousness on the present moment and on the energy and on the situation that's provoking that sadness, so that we can actually move forward and move away from that. Because when we suppress things and when we decide to just escape the emotion with our conscious light, we shove that into our subconscious realm, and our subconscious realm is actually the origin of our energy expression and becomes a filter for our personalities. So if we want to be like our highest timeline and our highest self, then we can't suppress our harsh emotions, because that then becomes the filter of our being. So it's really important to like be aware of our habits, because our habits are like bad habits like that we use to escape from, are actually like escape our emotions from, are actually like pushing our negative emotions into our subconscious realm that then become a filter for our beings. So yeah, what we have to look forward to and what we need to open ourselves up to receiving is the Fool, which is new beginnings. So 2020 is just going to be like this abundant, vibrant energy, like literally like so abundant and vibrant, but there's no way that we can feel the blessing of this high vibration that is now collectively open to tap into unless we open ourselves up to this. So one thing that's like very potent, that is like a good way to understand how our own perspective can keep us from tapping into this vibration, is worthiness, and thinking that you are not worthy of tapping into this vibration. Because so there's this new earth that is here in our conscious light. It came around like a month ago. We went to the portal, but basically in our conscious light before 5D new earth, we lived in the fourth dimension, and the fourth dimension is just judgment of good and bad. And so that's what we're filtering out of our conscious, our subconscious, and our conscious like thought patterns is judgment. So what we need to like let go of to really be open to this new beginning is the idea of good and bad, because that is just fourth dimensional, and like this new beginning is like new earth. Like 5D is like very vibrational based, so it's not like good and bad, but it's just like resonancy and like the rate of frequency vibration that we're now perceiving from. So our pathway of our highest timeline, or just like our pathway in general, is going to be illumined by our frequency vibration as well as our star map, because our star map is our fixed energy signature that like is a filter for our lives, and that's the part that like we have to come in to learn and to understand. But then our emotion is the part that we get to choose, which also creates the pathway. But basically this new beginning is making it so our lives are no longer oriented around like the collective view of what is cool, because that's fading away. Like that type of judgment of like cool and not cool is fading away, because that's fourth dimensional, and that is like what's coming up from the subconscious to be come into the light of our consciousness to be let go of. Because like cool and not cool that's not a thing anymore in this new beginning, in this new earth, in 5D. That is not a thing. What is a thing is what resonates with you on a vibrational level. So like this new beginning is like what vibration do you want to experience? Because there's this like super high, potent, high vibing frequency that's now before us, that's beyond judgment, that we can tap into, but we have to be open to tapping into this. And when we tap into this, our life purpose and pathway more deeply exposes itself for us to walk on. Because then we will have a deeper understanding of how our mood creates the karma for our next moments to exist. So when we are in a bad mood now, that means our next moment's going to be shitty. But if we are in a bad mood and we're like, okay, well, I want to change my perspective, and you change your perspective, then your next moment's going to be more intentional with a higher vibration. And just basically we are stepping into this new beginning where we are more potently realizing that we are creating our realities, and also our realities are no longer perceived as good and bad, but we now perceive them like our sense of self is no longer rooted in like cool and not cool, or good and bad, and it's more so rooted in vibration in general. So it's like, oh, when I'm sad, I can tell that this is a low vibration, and when I'm happy and abundant and potently joyful, I can tell that this is a high vibration. And then our intention for our moments start to become rooted in an energy awareness rather than a judgment in the physical realm. So this new beginning is very potently aligning us with our chosen pathway. So it's like, if you want to live your highest timeline, you can do that, because just you choosing that intention, it will immediately start to be relayed before you, because that's what you want. But you also have to believe that you are worthy of receiving that, because even if you say, I want my highest timeline, your timeline will be before you, and then you won't even be like receiving it because you think you're not worthy, and then you become a blockage to the reality that you've created. So it's super essential to first believe that you are worthy, so that you can transcend the like judgment of like good and bad, because to believe that you are worthy means that every single mistake and every single right decision you've ever made doesn't affect anything, and that your existence in general, like, you are worthy not because of what you've done, but because you are. And it's important to like accept that as your perspective, and then the fourth dimension falls away, and now you're in the conscious light of fifth dimension, new earth, which is rooted in energy and frequency vibration. And our pathways are just going to continue to illumine and relay themselves before us as we choose what we want to experience. Because if we decide for ourselves that we want better, that we want more enjoyable emotions, and we choose consciously to always choose the perspective that allows for us to have the highest vibration and feel liberated within a moment, well, then life is just going to be liberating, and we are only going to receive beautiful, liberating circumstances for us. And these new beginnings, it's very important to like allow ourselves to let go of our past right now, and to be open to receiving new things and new experiences that we've never experienced, because this new energy that's coming in has not been experienced by consciousness on a collective level before. So it's very important that we are open to this, because there's literally such high vibrations flowing through the collective. Especially when 2020 comes, it's our vision on it. We're finally going to be able to perceive it, because everything that's been blocking us from perceiving this, because quite frankly, this has always been before us. But now the stars have gone through enough like specific placements that it's almost like, okay, so it's like, for me, it's like, okay, all of this is here, but we're moving through time, and as the stars are moving through time, they're all like aligning so that we can go through like a door, and then they keep aligning in a way so we can go through like a door. And like with your conscious light, you could have swam through all those doors, but it's like time is like opening these doors through energy so that we get to keep experiencing them in our three-dimensional bodies, but our consciousness is actually able to swim to other places. But that's a little bit like off topic. But anyways, it's like everyone, whether you are in your conscious light or not, is moving into this place where it's like we are more deeply creators of our realities. And it's like, if you're gonna choose to be pessimistic, 2020 is going to be so shitty for you because it's literally like so potent with how much your energy is creating your reality. So if you're going to choose to be like, I'm attracting only my highest timeline, you bet your ass that shit is coming for you to bless you. So open your heart to it. Open your heart to this new beginning. Open your heart to the unknown, because as soon as you let your heart chakra flow into the unknown, guess what is now creating the karma for your next moments? Your goddamn heart. And when your heart creates the karma for your next moments, especially when you allowed everything to be released and your bad habits of thinking you're unworthy have been replaced with the belief that you are, literally you're only going to be attracting abundance and love into your life. And this is what we have to look forward to moving into 2020. So open yourself up to this idea of love and belief that love is coming for you, because when you have hope in your heart that love is coming for you, you become love, and then you create a karmic cycle of love to come into all of your moments. And that is what we have to look forward to in 2020. So it's important we open our hearts to this love that is abundantly before us. May we see.